For this next challenge, we're going to play with some Minecraft blocks and just practice duplicating, selecting multiple objects, and using a new tool called the snapping tool. As you can see, we have a camera aiming at our default block, only this block has been changed to be a Minecraft block. Now, in the viewport right now, it doesn't show up like a Minecraft block, but what we can do is we can go adjust this viewport shading setting, which is right down here. And we can adjust it up to a texture and see a better image of it. We can also do some of these other adjustments, but the more adjustment you make, the more it slows down your computer. For example, the easiest thing for the computer to render or draw on the screen is just a simple wireframe or a simple bounding box. The wireframe gets a little more complicated, the solid gets even more complicated, and the texture, again, gets even more complicated, but this gives us enough to kind of visualize what we're working with. I'm going to select the block by right-clicking on the block, and then I'm going to duplicate that block. I can hold down the Shift key, tap on the D key, and I now have a duplicate of that block that I can move around. But the block is really hard to position in place because it's kind of in a freestyle mode. That white halo around the block means it's just going to move around, and it won't settle or place until I tap on that left mouse key. So once I hit the left mouse key, boom, I place the block. You can see from the rendered view how that looks, but I don't like the way that looks. It doesn't look very Minecraft-ish. So I'm going to get rid of it. And the way you can delete a block is you can select the block and you can go Shift D. You can select the block, hit the delete key on your keyboard, and then hit delete. Watch how I do that again. Hit the delete key on my keyboard. It's going to say, are you sure you want to delete? And I click on delete. Now I'm going to select this block a little differently this time. I'm going to move this block a little differently this time. I'm going to hit Shift D, and then I'm going to lift up my fingers from the keyboard, and I'm going to hold down the Control key. When I hold down the Control key, I'll get a snapping tool that will allow me to snap the block into place. When the block is in a position I like, I left-click on it, and I now have moved the Minecraft block. To show you that again, I hit Shift D, hold the Control key, drag it back one, click on the first mouse button. Notice what happens when I lift up the Control button. It kind of slides off of that snapping tool. I'm going to hold on to the Control key and click on the left mouse button. If you make a mistake, it's really easy to fix it. You just select the block with a right click that you want to get rid of, and you hit the delete key on your keyboard, which is in between like the keys you type on and your number pad. There's a little delete button. Click on that delete button and the delete dialog box will come up. Select it, and there you go. I've just deleted it. You can also use when you right click on a block, you can also use this up here in Edit, and you can hit Duplicate, which will also make a copy of the block, and then again you can use the snapping tool to move it around. But I don't like using that as much because my cursor is detached from the block, and I like my cursor to be right with the block. It just makes it easier for me to use it. So I'm going to place it down, but I'm going to now use the Shift right click method and Shift right click method, and now I have 3 blocks selected. I'm going to hit Shift D for duplicate. Then I'm going to hold down the Control key, and I'm going to slide more blocks around. Now, it is normal to have some trouble moving these blocks around because we don't know all the controls yet to navigate in our viewport, so in our 3D viewport. So I'm just going to do the best I can with the tools I have, and you notice I'm duplicating by hitting Shift D. Then I'm holding the Control key, and I'm moving the blocks around and making kind of a cool little pattern. Control key, move the blocks around. And when I render that, it makes a pretty cool image. I'm now going to Control D, hold the Control key, move it around, and I've got a nice piece of land right there. I'm going to use the Shift key, duplicate, or Shift select, 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 unselect, and duplicate, and hold down the Control key. And when I render that, I have a beautiful Minecraft scene that I'm beginning to form. Feel free to form your own Minecraft scene. If you don't like where a block lies, remember you can select that block, hit the delete key, and delete that block right out of the scene. Feel free to make an awesome Minecraft scene with the Minecraft blocks.